Welcome everybody. My name is Brandon Hudson. I'm the owner of SBY MMA and Fitness. We're in a partnership with Peninsula Wellness. They've been our sponsor for over 2 years now. They've been supplying us with CBD, both the cream and also the drops. So I'm basically the 2-year test guinea pig. It's been huge for my recovery, huge for my sleep and so many other things. So today what we're going to do is we're going to bring you a little tutorial of some very simple, easy ways to just get the body moving. Of course, with the pandemic going on and everything that we're experiencing, it's very hard for us to get to the gyms like we want to. It's very hard for us to do the activities that we want to. A lot of us, just like yourself, are on a screen most of the days or in cubicles or in offices or even at home. So what we're trying to do is we want to promote you a healthy lifestyle, not just with the CBD products, not just with eating clean, but the whole enchilada. We want to give you the fitness side of it, the mental side of it, the recovery side of it, just as much as we can engulf in helping you still keep your sanity to some degree through this pandemic. Today I have my star pupil. This is Taylor McMahan. He is the youngest man to hold a kickboxing title over at Stellar Fights. Taylor's been with me for we're on 3 years now that he's been working with us, and he's been since the ground up where we're at Pure Fitness now, and even at the other gym in the old days. So, but the interesting factor is this year, actually next month, Taylor turns 21. I turned 40 in April. And it's crazy because you have obviously, 20-year age difference there. We both are very hard on our bodies. With mixed martial arts, you have a lot of intense trainings, a lot of repetitive days. It's repetition. It's equivalent to, a high-level sports athlete. And what we've been noticing here recently is how effective the CBD product and how effective the recoveries for us. Taylor being young, he's able to have that young man mentality where, he's invincible. He can go through everything and run. And about 2 years into his training, and obviously fighting at a championship level, he's noticed how much it's taken a toll on his body. And thus he's taken different precautionary steps. He's, doing a lot of yoga and stretching. He's doing a lot of recovery, massage therapy, cupping, and also, again, the CBD product. Myself, I'm 40 years old, so it's a whole different recovery system for me, a whole different area and avenue for me. With me, it's the aches and pains are pretty much all day long. Getting out of bed could be, pretty tough sometimes. And since I've been using the products, man, it's just been remarkable difference. This isn't like anything. It's not a quick fix. Let me go ahead and, take 2 drops and all of a sudden I feel great. It is more about a sustainable long-term recovery system and multiple things. I go to the chiropractor, I have massage therapies, I'm doing yoga and stretching myself. Of course, obviously I'm weight training, obviously I'm doing cardio, and ultimately, the things that I need as far as CBD. So with that being said, we're going to give you some very basic, some very generic, simple ways. We're going to give you about a half-hour worth of working out today. I'll explain and give you some different options of way to do it, and just things to get the body moving, okay? Your body is meant to move, so there's no need why you should be sitting around hoping these aches and pains or hoping these things are gonna happen. It doesn't have to be a killer workout like him and I do every day, or it doesn't have to be like this super fit, intense weight training session, just enough to move. And my thought process on it is the more you move, the more things start to respond, start to grow, start to develop, and the next thing you know, you're doing a little bit more, and before you know it, this tutorial alone maybe could push you to a healthy fitness, healthy lifestyle. So with that being said, what we're going to do is we're going to get the body flowing right now. So Taylor's going to do some jumping jacks. Believe it or not, people get this confused. You want everything closed when you start, arms and legs, and then you want everything open. So as Taylor goes, he's just going to do, I'd say about anywhere from 10, 25, 50, or even 100 jumping jacks, depending on how well you do. Now, also, thank you, Taylor. Also, we also do modified jumping jacks for my people that would have bad knees, or maybe the impact is. So what he'll do is instead of jumping, he'll do the same motion, but he'll step out to the side, come back, out to the side. This is great for people that, some of my elderly clients that don't have the same kind of mobility that they used to. This is great for people with knee injuries, lower back injuries. And again, all we're trying to do here is just slowly build you up to get a little stronger, move a little bit better, and so forth. After that, what we'll do is we'll do a little bit of a T-twist. Basically, Taylor will have his hands on his head, and what he's going to do is he's just going to slowly move his elbow to his knee. He's going to rotate his body, and all he's doing is he's working his obliques, he's working his mobility down in his legs. He's just trying to get the body loosened up. You know, you do 3 sets of maybe 15, 3 sets of 20, just to get the body moving up. Nothing too crazy. You don't have to go too fast. You don't have to go too slow. Another really good one that we love to warm the shoulders up is we'll do arm circles. And this can be a little bit difficult. So what you'll do is you'll time this or maybe count this. But he'll hold his arms straight out, and all he's doing is just rotating really little circles. And usually we do this for about 30 seconds to a minute each direction. And it can tend to get a little bit difficult for people. But he can go small with the circles, and then he can also start go large. And you can kind of implement that as you go slowly by slowly. Then he'll come straight out with the arm circles. And what this does is, go ahead, what this does is your shoulder is sitting basically in a pocket, and it's got mobility in all different directions. So this gives you an opportunity to warm those joints up, get those arms moving, and gives you a good burn as well. And then at the end, we go straight up, and this is the hardest one. It's the one where everybody complains. And notice as he's circling, he's not circling the elbows. He's circling at the shoulders. A lot of people like to cheat the system and wave their hands like they just don't care, but that's not how we do it around here. So he's actually working the shoulders and just getting them loosened up. Again, thank you. Again, we can do anywhere from, you could do 30 arm circles if you want to count them. You could do 30 seconds each direction. However you want to do it, whatever you're comfortable with. But do try to give yourself a burn. Do try to give yourself a little bit of a challenge here. Now, one thing I want to emphasize is injuries, okay? If you are injured, if there's something wrong with you, we do not work through our injuries, okay? That's the worst possible thought process you could have, okay? That's kind of like your old Shaolin monks on the Temple Hill karate telling you, yes, just put some Robitussin on it. We don't do that, okay? We work around our injuries, all right? And don't let your injuries keep you back from wanting to work out. There's always something you can do. There's always another body part you can do, and we modify it. So if it hurts, not burns, but if it hurts, you want to identify that injury issue and you want to move on. So with that being said, we're going to talk about squats, all right? Now, squats are huge, and you can do this if you have trouble with doing them stationary or your balance. You can do this getting up and down out of your chair. What we want to do is you want your feet about hip distance apart, maybe a little bit outside, maybe shoulder distance apart. It's all pending comfortability. And then basically you're going to put your hands straight out. And what I'm going to have Taylor do is I'm going to have Taylor just gaze just slightly above eye level. That way he keeps his back nice and arched. And I'm going to show you that in a minute. And all he's doing is as he bends, he's coming down. And he wants his knee and his hip about 90 degrees. Okay, that's perfect. It puts tension on the legs. And he comes back up. He's pushing through his heels. He's going to do a couple more of those. His gaze is up. He's just keeping his posture good, keeping his lower back strong. And if we have Taylor turn to the side, this is what the side view looks like. So what I want is I want a nice arch in his lower back. We never want this lower back curled. All right, that's super important for lower back injuries and for strength and stability. He's also building strength. Even though he's working his legs, his posture where his shoulders are back, he's looking up, is nice and straight. And the biggest thing that you need to understand is the heels. As he does this, his heels are staying flat on the ground. They're never coming up. His knees are behind his toes. Doesn't put any stress on the patellum tendon, and it's working perfect. Thank you, Taylor. With that right there, you can do whatever you feel comfortable with. What I like to do is I like to keep a mold of like 8 to 12 reps, 3 to 4 sets. That's kind of where I go with pretty much all of my standardized working out and exercises. You know, you get different levels, different goals, different options. You can always change that. But for right now, just to get the body moving, you're looking at about 8 to 12 reps each session, 8 being hard, 10 being medium, 12 being easy, 3 to 4 sets, just depending on what you want to do and how you're feeling. The next thing we're going to do is we're going to do side lunges. All right, what you do here is Taylor will stand foot to foot, and he's going to step out to the left. And when he steps out, this leg is a little bit more straighter in this angle. Other way. This leg is nice and straight. He's sitting down on this leg, keeping his heels, looking up, good posture, and coming back up as he steps. Then he goes to the other side. And again, we're making sure that we're not leaning way over. He's got good posture. This is going to be a little bit of a flexibility thing, so don't feel like you have to do it perfect. But what he's doing, he's sitting back on those heels, and everything is pushing through them heels. Good posture. And again, thank you. You can do roughly anywhere from 15 each side, 12 each side. And again, try to hit those 3 sets. We like to take about maybe maximum a minute and a half in between each sets. That way you're really pushing yourself to try to do a little bit more, pushing yourself to really go above and beyond and get that body moving like we need. Then what we do is we do front lunges, okay? You could do forward lunges, you could do reverse lunges, you can not step, okay? So lunges can be very tricky, all right? We can have 3 people with the same knee injury and same knee replacement or knee break or tear or whatever you have. And what will happen is those 3 people have the same injury, but however have different pain feelings in different ways. So you do what you can, okay? I have one client, she can barely go up and down, so she does modified lunges and more of a burnout. Some people can do them really good. But what will happen is Taylor's gonna face me so you can see the form of how he does it. You can have your hands on your head, you can have your hands on your waist, whatever you want, but again, he's looking up. He's always looking up. When he looks up, he keeps that posture in line. Whenever he looks down, for some reason, it tends to take his back a little bit rolling, and then when he starts working out and moving, it's even worse. But all Taylor's gonna do is gonna take a medium-sized step forward. He's gonna come down. He's gonna almost touch the ground. What I love about this lunge, it's a beautiful lunge. His back, his glutes, and his hamstring are all in a straight line. And then he's gonna push through that hamstring back, or push through that heel back, and then he's gonna do the other leg. He's gonna step out, he's gonna go down, and he's gonna push. What I love about this lunge right here is when he does this and has that perfectly good line of back, glute, and hamstring, he's actually getting the back leg involved as well. He can also do these backwards. If this feels better for you, you can step back and step forward. Back and step forward. Thank you. Now, we've just nailed 3 simple leg exercises for pretty much 3 different leg muscle groups in your body. A couple notes to take away. You can always change the foot placement of your squats. So for a standard squat like he did, he's about hip distance apart. Feet are straight forward. He's got good posture. If he wants to get a little bit more down in that inner legs and back of that hamstring, what he does, he spreads a little bit more and he turns his toes out for like a sumo squat. He can also do a straighter squat where his feet are almost about hip distance or about 2 fists apart, and he can hit a little bit more of your top or quad. So you have a lot of things that you can play with. Very easy, very basic, but you will feel the burn and it'll feel good. And the last thing we're gonna do is what Taylor can do is he'll use the wall for this. He'll turn around and he'll just put his fingertips on the wall very so lightly. Feet are gonna be together. And all he's gonna do is he's gonna do calf raise. He's gonna go up, give a little hold, and down. Up, a little hold, and down. He's just barely putting a little bit of pressure on the wall for his balance. And that way he can get the maximum weight on his calves. And as you see, as he goes up, he's got a nice little cut here. You can see the muscle as he goes down, as he relaxes. With these, thank you. With these, I'd like to do a little bit more than 12, just because your calves tend to be a very strong part of your body. So we would like for you to do roughly about 20 calf raises, 3 sets, 25 maybe. Some of my clients hate me because I make them do 50, but you know, hey, they're very strong clients, okay? So there you go. There you have it. There's some of our rundowns with our leg exercises, all right? I usually like to cap them off with a nice little burn, and we do a wall sit. And all Taylor has to do is lean his back against this wall, and he just puts his feet at a comfortable place. He makes sure he's nice and supported, and he goes down. And again, we're looking for the hip and the knee to be in a straight line, and you can hold this for roughly 10 seconds, 15 seconds. We really advise, thank you, we really advise 30 seconds to a minute. Super awesome, super beneficial, and helps out with the muscle endurance and the muscle growth. Now we're gonna start getting on our floor exercises now, all right? So the first thing I wanna do is the infamous push-up, all right? So many people struggle with push-ups. I'm gonna give you a little story. We don't call our assisted push-ups at SBYMMAandFitness girl push-ups. I do not like that phrase. To me, that tells me that some insecure man across this world or across the time, whether they've been a gym teacher or, you know, a guy trying to impress some ladies or just somebody who had an inferiority complex, started calling assisted push-ups girl push-ups. And that's not what they are, because I have girls in my gym right now that do better push-ups than most men I know. I have soccer moms and grandmothers right now that push-ups are better than my push-ups. So we don't call them girl push-ups, they're assisted push-ups, okay? Now the push-up position, Taylor's gonna get on here. Go this way. Yep. If you look, a proper regular push-up position, all right, tends to be at your comfort level. Go ahead and get on your knees. His hands are about shoulder distance apart. nice straight back, and all he's doing is he's trying to get his chest to the ground. He's trying to go down, just right there, and back up. The arm placement can change, a couple more. The arm placement can change. There's a lot of things that you can do differently, but this is a very good, very standard push-up, okay? Now, some people are gonna struggle with going all the way down. If you can only go halfway, like Taylor's about to, then that's all you can. That's all he needs to do. Another assisted way of doing push-ups is laying completely on the ground. Just lay straight, flat on the ground. Yep. And then just pushing yourself up. You can push yourself up, lay back down, push yourself up. All of these, thank you, just go on your knees. All of these things are really great for building the strength in your chest muscles, your shoulders, and your triceps, okay? Now, if that is too intense for you, all right, again, we try to push you to do anywhere from 10 to 12. If you can knock out 20, by all means, please do. But if that tends to be too intense for you, then we're gonna do assisted push-ups. Now, to me, there's 3 levels of assisted push-ups. So Taylor's gonna stay on his knees, he's gonna come out, and he's gonna be right here. See how close and how his hip line right here is straight up and down with his knee? This is probably gonna be some of the least resistant push-ups that he's gonna need. If he goes back any further, if you need to, that's fine, but it tends to not challenge you as much as you're looking for. But right here, he's gonna go as low as he can, and he's gonna push himself up, and he's got a nice form. He's keeping this lower back tight, keeping his abs tight, and he's doing a wonderful job. And this is the beginner. This is a beginner to your regular push-ups that you want to get to. Now, if this isn't intense for you, he'll walk his hands out just a little bit more farther, and he'll push his hips past his knees, and now he'll do them from here. This is giving him a little bit more of a burn, giving him a little bit more of an opportunity to really hit those muscles and get him engaged like he wants to. And then if you're ready for the next step, he'll go out even farther and as far as he can pretty much reach. And now he's doing push-ups. And this is probably your last level of your assisted push-up. And then you're on to the next one. All right. After that, what we'll do is we'll do some core exercises, okay? When you do core exercises, everybody loves the sit-up, okay? Everybody loves the traditional sit-up. Feet up, propped up under something, hands behind your head, hands across your chest. Studies have been coming out and research has been coming out that these might not be the best for your back, okay? So I like to do it in a crunch, and I have a certain way that I do my crunch. One, we like to put our hands behind our back. We are never locking our fingers together, okay? When you lock your fingers together, you have the tendency of wanting to pull on your neck. And as you're pulling on your neck with this kind of movement and your spine movement, what happens is you tend to tweak a little muscle, tear a little, get a little pain back there. And right now, we don't need anything to discourage you from your progress right now. So all Taylor's doing is just resting his hands right on his head, just nice and lightly, and he's keeping his good straight spine from his neck down to his mid-back. Other thing is we like to put our legs up in the air, okay? Now this isn't mandatory, but he'll put his legs up in his air, and again, his knees are past his hip. What this does is this engages Taylor's lower abdomen, and all he's doing, his chin is going straight up to the sky, and he's just lifting his shoulders up. And that's it, going down and up. He's not moving, he's not pulling on the neck, he's just getting this upper core engaged and working this upper core while the lower core is rocking. With these, you can also go side to side and hit the oblique side. So he's still just going up and going down, up and going down. The slower you do it, the more intense it is. Thank you. Another thing that we like to do, and again, we're still keeping the same format as to how many reps and how many we're doing. Once you feel comfortable with these exercises, you can change those numbers. You can add different things. There's a lot of options here. Another one I like to call these reach for the skies. And what he'll do is he'll put his arm straight up, and all he's trying to do is just reach and touch my hand. He's not doing anything else, anything different. That's all he's doing. Man, this is a killer workout for your upper abdomen, I had a brain fart, sorry. Killer workout for your upper abdomen and just gets you really going and getting all that stuff burning, okay? You can also do, I call them frog crunches, all right? So he puts his hands over his midsection and now he's reaching for the wall. It's another way of really mixing it up a little bit, getting a nice little upper burn and giving your legs and your lower abdomen a break. After that, we're gonna hit the lower side of the abs. So now what he's gonna do is he's gonna keep his hands flat, his legs straight out, all right? If you have a strong neck, I recommend really under 40. It seems to be once you hit around the 40 mark, your muscles tend to deteriorate a little bit more. They tend to kind of wear out. If you're under 40, you can lift your head up and that'll activate the upper abs while you're doing this. If you're over 40, you can rest your head or whatever's comfortable. And he's just gonna do flutter kicks. He's gonna keep his legs nice and straight and he's just gonna move these. You can probably do about 30 to 50 of these individually counting. This is a great exercise for the core, and he's really pressing his belly button and his lower back into the ground. It really burns when he does that. It's not just him holding them up. You can go big ones, you can go little ones, you can go big ones. He's got the toes pointed, and this is a killer workout for anybody. Then he breaks, he puts one leg over top of his other leg, all right? So he's basically got an angle, and again, he's gonna put his left arm, he's got his right leg across his right leg across his left leg, and he's got his right arm behind his ear. He's not pulling on his neck. And he's gonna try to take his elbow and get above his knee if he can. And that's a really good oblique side ab exercise, just giving you some more additives and more angles that you can hit. And he's just hitting it one at a time. Again, stick to whatever set that you feel comfortable with. We recommend no less than 10 to 15, and then switch. Then another one that I like a lot is, I call them kickouts. And what he'll do is he'll sit up, and you could sit back on your hands, or you could sit back on your elbows, whichever's comfortable, kind of leaning slightly back, going back, and all he's doing is bringing his knees to his chest and going straight out. Knees to his chest, going straight out. These can use a little bit of strength. You know, you kind of gauge how you can go, but this is a great abdomen workout, a good feeling, good exercise. He also bends his knees and puts them flat on the ground, and we do a Russian twist. All right, he just turns his shoulders, and boom, left and right, left and right. Make sure that the shoulders turn. A lot of people just kind of twist over here like that. He's turning his shoulders. If you want to get a little bit more intense, you can double tap the floor. That way you kind of remind yourself to turn those shoulders. And then I know everyone has heard of a plank, and the planks are really super beneficial, super awesome. Now there's a lot of ways that you could do planks that people do it. And one of the most effective ways I've done it is, and it's hard to see, but Taylor's elbows are evenly distributed just like this, okay? His hands aren't in, they're not flat on the ground, they're made in a nice fist, and they're nice and straight. It's a very good straight line. His shoulders are right above his elbows, okay? Now again, this can be too much. You could do it in a push-up position. You can find your comfort zone, but you're really gonna get a lot out of this. And what he's doing is he's rolling his hips down underneath, like tightening his glute muscles, and he's really flexing his lats right here. And this is a good workout for your core, for all your inner strength. Do this for about 30 seconds, do it for a minute, or do whatever you can build up to. Again, these exercises are a go at your own pace exercise. These are not something that we ask you to, you know, destroy your body or kill yourself. Look, just do the best that you can, okay? A lot of this stuff is very simple, very simplistic, but it works. It's beneficial. It's going to help you progress. It's going to help you feel better, and it's going to give the blood the circulation it needs. It's going to give the muscle strength, the endurance. You know, as bad as I say this, I tell a lot of people that, or I know a lot of people that went to, like, you know, places like Florida and California and these really highly beach populated places. And, you know, I hear a lot, some of the tendencies down there tend to be people trade their health for wealth while they're during their careers and while they're really striving for success. And then as they get older into their, you know, their more golden years, they end up trading their wealth for their health. So, you know, find that balance into your healthy journey and what you want to do, and just be kind to yourself. You know, don't be too hard on yourself. Listen, a lot of people want to compare themselves to how they should feel or how they should look or what they should be doing or what the other person's doing. All you have to do is what you're doing. Mountains are moved by just one shovel at a time, okay? We're gonna get into a couple more exercises cardio-wise, and I'll give you a couple little fight exercises that you can do that are really cool. They get the body moving. Another one is mountain climbers. I love mountain climbers. I think they're a really good workout. I think that they really help you get the cardio and the core, but he's just gonna jump forward and back and forth. He's gonna do them just like this, nice and good. Nice and good stretch between the legs. He's moving his hips. Now, sometimes these could be a little too intense for you, so a lot of people just bring their knees up one at a time. That's a good way as well. You could do these on the wall. You could do these anywhere. And then we have a version of slow motion mountain climbers, which tends to burn the legs out a little bit more. He'll jump all the way to the side. He's extending his hips forward. He's getting a good stretch. And this gives you a really good burn, a really good way of getting those muscles moving and working. Also, we're going to move on. Now, obviously, me being in mixed martial arts and combat sports, and Taylor as well, in my opinion, that there is no workout like a fight session, like a combo workout or combination workout, bag work, mitts work. MMA fighters are the greatest athletes on the earth, in my opinion, because you just have so many different dynamics of what that is. If you're not sure about what mixed martial arts is, just, you know, the cage fighting. There's a big fight on this weekend, Conor McGregor, that kind of style fighting. But what it is you have so many elements in that fighting. You have grappling, you have wrestling, you have Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, you have kickboxing, you have boxing, you have Roman Greco, you have Sambo. I mean, you name all these styles. That's why the name mixed martial arts comes into play. And you just have to be ready for everything. And a lot of the exercises and the workouts that we do, we shock ourselves because there's really no challenges there. You know, you have to have the weight training, you have to have the stretching, you have to have the cardio, you have to have the endurance. It's just so much going on. And it pushes you to no not ends. Nothing taken away from any other sport out there. But again, you know, you're talking about the cream of the crop when you talk about mixed martial arts. So what happens is we found some nice little workouts that, and you've seen the cardio kickboxing classes and the Taibos and stuff like that. And it really does make a workout. So Taylor's going to get in his fight stance. Generally, our fight stance is your power hand in the back, your power leg in your in the back, your dominant hand. And all he's going to do is he's just going to throw some jabs. He's just going to throw some jabs out, nice and straight. Yeah, he's going to go slow, and then once he feels his comfort level, he'll start turning it up, face the wall. And he'll start throwing a little bit faster. Yeah, and what he'll try to do is he'll try to get him out as fast and back as fast as he can. So he's not holding him out. He's bringing it straight to his head. And what happens is as he's holding this position here, his shoulders are being worked. His biceps are being worked. His traps are being worked. His lats are being worked. Everything's working. So it's a really good way. He's working his abs as he's turning. Then you can start going with your jab straight, your 1-2. When he does this, look at the rotation in his hips. He's getting his obliques in. Now, Taylor's a little bit more technical than you guys. He does this a lot. He's a kickboxing champion, so he's going to look really good. One thing I hate is when, you know, you have these boxing instructors and kickboxing instructors teach these people and they're letting these people get away with this bad technique. But, you know, hey, as long as we're moving. But you don't have to look like Taylor to do this workout. You can just do what you need to do. Just get the arms moving. Just get them flowing and do what you can do. Get the breathing or get the blood flowing and the lungs working, all right? Also, don't hold your breath. Don't hold your breath through none of these workouts, okay? Make sure you're breathing through these workouts. Find where you're, just breathe normally at first, and then you'll pick up where to breathe and how to breathe, but definitely breathe. Holding your breath is really going to put you in a bad situation. Get you lightheaded, who knows? Taylor also throws some other punches. As he's throwing this, he can just shadow box. You can get a really good workout where you just shadow box it nice and casually, just getting your hips involved, moving around. You can go at whatever pace you want to. If you want to go smooth and slow, if you want to go fast, you can do that as well. Anything that you want to do to get the blood flowing, to feel like you're doing something. You know, when we first learned MMA and we first started doing it, all of our colleagues at our jobs would look at us like we were crazy because we're in the corner just shadow boxing all day, but it's a really good practice. A couple other things. We could do some kicks. Simple front kick. You're coming up, you're bringing the knee up, and you're just kicking forward, and you're just going up and out. That's a good workout. You're getting a lot of muscles working. A lot of our problem areas tend to be our inner thighs. This is working your inner thighs. And you can switch your stance. You can do the other one, just straight out. You could do a roundhouse as well. Roundhouse is basically just a stationary kick where you're coming all the way around. It's pretty much one of the most popular kicks that you do in karate and martial arts movies. But again, it's getting another angle of your legs moving. He's working his calves. And then you can do a side kick. And the side kick's good because when you do the side kick, you're going to bring that leg all the way to your chest, as tight as you can get, and then you're going to push it out, and then you're going to replace that movement, just like that. This is a really good mobility exercise. It's just something else to get the body moving, another cardio additive for you to do. So that's about a sum up of our first tutorial of some things that we're doing at home. Or, I mean, I have some of my personal training clients start off with these workouts, and I mean, they're coming out of here sweating and so forth. And I think you will too, doing this for a solid half an hour, trying to minimize your breaks, and just, again, being kind to yourself, man. I can't stress you enough how the mindset is the most important part of all this. And if you're constantly tearing yourself in your mind, constantly tearing yourself about how you look, how you feel, you're going to have such a harder journey to get over that hump and start feeling better. We all understand that we're in strange times nowadays, and we all understand that there's a pandemic and there's a lot of things, a lot of negativity, a lot of things that are around us that can distract us. So just being kind to yourself and being patient with your process, patient with your journey is most important. We are over at Pure Fitness. It's SBY MMA and Fitness. You're more than welcome to come check us out or DM me or Taylor and with any kind of questions. Again, we appreciate Peninsula Wellness and all their forever support. They're constantly, promoting us, and the wellness factor just goes hand in hand. If you guys have any questions, please reach out to Peninsula Wellness about all their products, about some of these other tutorials, and we thank you for coming. Thank you, Taylor.